So about a year ago, I made a video about me playing with Offline TV in this SNES game called Pilotwings. It's a video where they are training me and I'm totally disobeying the orders and breaking everything and making them mad, that kind of stuff. I got to make fun of Toast, I gave Scarra blonde hair, I hit on Poki, Michael electrocuted me, and I went against the villain Valkyrae in the climatic ending. It's pretty cringe, but I don't care. The original inspiration for this video was Among Us, and how Offline TV and friends were playing this game where it was this fun experience where they cause all different kinds of shenanigans. And I didn't know anyone in the content creation or streaming world at the time, so I got creative and made this video. And it was a blast to make. So why am I making this video? Well, because the backstory to me making that video actually goes back a few years. Now this video might be kind of long, but if you have time, please keep watching. You might enjoy this. So back in 2015,
2015?
Yeah, 2015, I started doing Let's Plays. Markiplier was my inspiration back then, and don't bother looking for those Let's Plays vids, that channel's long gone. But at that time, I also found out about Twitch. Like 4 years after Twitch launched, and I started looking up streamers and content creators. And I just remember this one video about this content creator house, which I can't find anymore. There were about 6 people in the house, and the only person that stuck out to me in that video was this girl named Valkyrae. She just seemed really cool. She talked about her big hair, how she came up with her name, that she doesn't like to be called. She just seemed really open and chill. I just felt like I could play a game with her, if that makes any sense. I didn't follow her on her Twitch or any of her social media or anything like that. I just remembered her. And I can't find that video now. For all I know, that channel could be long gone as well. Fast forward to April 2020. Yep, 5 years later. I never watched Twitch, okay? I was out on this test site in the middle of Arizona, and my brother sends me this link to a video called Surgery Robot by Michael Reeves. I've never heard of Michael Reeves before this. And the video starts off with Michael watching another video of a technology company who makes an elaborate surgery robot, right? And after he watches the video, he says,
I could build that.
And I'm like, no, you can't. Don't even think about it. Don't even try. Then I look at the video timer and realize there's 12 minutes left in this video. He's gonna try, isn't he? So he makes this. Basically, he took the claw game from the arcade, attached the biggest knife he could find to it, and then for kicks, he added motion controls to control it. The claw game by Michael Myers. And then near the end of the video, he brings in this girl who looks like his 13-year-old sister. He sits her down in front of this thing, and then she waves her hand over the motion sensor.
Put your hand up.
I'm like, what's the matter with you? Get her out of there. He's all showing how to use it. And I'm like, that poor girl. Oh my God. Then he makes her stab a head with it. And I'm like, will somebody unplug that thing? By the end of that video, I was literally rolling on the floor laughing. And that's when I found out about Offline TV and about Lily, Scarra, Toast, Yvonnie, Mike, Broden, and Poki, who was the girl in that video that was not 13, more like 23, I think. And they did these really fun videos like take a lie detector test, taste test the best fast food fries, wear drunk goggles and do an obstacle course. I always wanted to do that one. And they would also stream regularly. I honestly didn't think about meeting them or anything like that. They just seemed like a lot of fun, if that makes any sense. December 2020. Around this time, Among Us became this huge hit, right? And OTV were playing it with lots of random people like Jimmy Fallon and AOC. At some point, I saw a screenshot of a player with reindeer antlers on called Reindeer with the spelling R-A-E-N-D-E-E-R. At that moment, I thought, R-A-E? Valkyrae? Is that her? Not long after that, my brother sends me a link to a video of Valkyrae looking at her Reddit posts. So I clicked the link.
You know the Russian word for grandma? It's
no.
babushka.
Run.
I was like, that's awesome. That's totally something I would have done. Then the next clip, they're playing Raft, and Kuno tries to make her mad on purpose, and she goes,
He did that on purpose?
Freaking hilarious. I was like, I gotta find out more about her now. She's the queen of YouTube? She went from little girl streaming in a bedroom to queen of YouTube in 5 years? That's crazy. And later that year, she would become co-owner of 100 Thieves. She was getting lots of opportunities like cameos, photo shoots, commercials, acting roles, voice acting roles, that kind of stuff. And I was like, I want to do that. That'd be so cool. That'd be so fun. But how do I do that? Like, how do I get in those games and play with them or people like them? How do I get there? Let's think about this for a sec. I'm a 40-year-old guy living in Arizona, working 40 hours a week testing prototype cars, and knew next to nothing about the streaming or content creation world. They're living in California, doing streams, podcasts, music videos, skit videos, clothing lines. They're in a different world. Oh yeah, I'd never streamed before either. Small detail. But I figured they were at some point just someone with a PC, internet, and a dream also, right? But I need to get their attention somehow. Or anyone's attention. Let's be realistic here. Now I thought of all different kinds of weird stuff. First I thought, I'll just play the games they play and maybe wind up in the same lobby as them. Then thought, no, that's a crapshoot if that happens. Or maybe make a really stupid video where my brother walks naked in the background while I'm so glad I didn't do that one. Let's put it this way, I had a lot of bad ideas for a while. Finally, right around May 2021, I had an idea to write Rae Song. You know, something nice, inspirational, uplifting, that kind of thing. You know, that might be a good idea. That might get some attention, you know, that might get a following. And I'll take my time with this and make it as good as possible. The next month, June, I think, that comes after May, right? I was on a cross-country trip where I had to drive from Houston to Tampa in one day and then drive back to Houston the next day. Those were long days. And when I got to Tampa, I go on YouTube and I see the debut of Do It Like Rae by John of the Forest. And I was like, oh shit. And then watching Rae in tears watching it, I'm like, I'm so screwed. And John of the Forest did an amazing job on that song. On a funnier note, I realized that some of the lyrics that John wrote were the exact same thing that I wrote. No, she's my ray of sunshine, asshole. Quit stealing my rhymes, jerk. Go find some other Filipino bad bitch. Okay, I didn't write that part, but you get the point. Yeah, that trip back home was really depressing. After I got home, I basically gave up. I was out of ideas at this point. So I started playing my Nintendo Switch and started playing this SNES game called Pilotwings. It's a stupid game. Basically what happens in the game is that the trainers basically tell you what to do, and what I would do is fail the test and the trainers would be like, really? It's kind of a charming thing about the game. But then I had the crazy idea of, wait, what if the trainers in the game were the members of OfflineTV? That sounds like something they would do in one of the YouTube videos, right? That would be cool. Plus at this point, I had totally given up after ever playing with them. I'll write a script, I'll edit it, I'll make my own music. I can do this. Even though they won't really be there, I can imagine that. I can just have fun. First up is Disguised Toast. So for Toast, Lily, Scarra, and Yvonnie, the test is literally from the 4 trainers actually in the game. Somebody had to go first, so I picked Toast. I thought he was kind of a smartass and sometimes he trolls. So I start off by making fun of his accent. When he says, did you do that on purpose? I'm like, yep, because that's exactly what I would have said. The titanium line at the end of the part, I actually got that from work. There was this kid who was a total smartass. He used that line to my boss one day. My boss said, you're grounded. I found it really funny. So I put it in. And he only has like 3 lines at first, but he does come back later in the video. Up next is LilyPichu. I'll be honest, I really did look up to Lily a lot. Her music is really nice, and seeing all her voice acting stuff that she's accomplished, I find really impressive. And when writing my part for Lily, I was like, I don't want to be mean to her. So I played more of a dumbass. I just kept it short and sweet. Up next is Scarra, with blonde hair and a mustache. Do you know why Scarra had blonde hair and a mustache? Because the guy from the actual game had blonde hair and a mustache. That's it. And I picked this stupid cartoon hair too. I loved it. Scar reminded me of a friend of mine who was really gullible. I felt like I could mess with his hair or something and he would just play along and laugh it off. The land on the landline. First he says something serious about landing at the start of the scene. The first time I crashed into the water and that line popped up, had me rolling on the floor. And to see Scar with that hair saying that line was that much more hilarious. That one line alone made me want to put Scar in this part. Next up is a very special guest, Mimi, Pokimane's cat. Why is Mimi in this? Because Mimi is Chewbacca. Let me explain. So back in 1997, a friend of mine took me to go see Star Wars A New Hope, special edition in the theater on opening night. I had never seen Star Wars before. And in the movie, Chewie would say something like, and I would say something like, boy, you said it, Chewie. And I'm like, what did he say? Seriously, there are no subtitles or anything. The Chewie would say something like, you're right about that, Chewie. He's right about what? I literally had no idea what he said. And I really wanted a character like that in this video. I thought of Poki's cat, Mimi, and just wrote meow, 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 meow. And I was like, durr. It was really stupid, but a lot of fun. All right, next up is Yvonnie. So for Yvonnie, just like Lily, I didn't want to be too aggressive to her as well. What can I say? Even though I'm breaking stuff, I can be nice doing it. So I played the smart ass, dumbass again. She was kind of reminding me of a friend of mine who, when I would act dumb, she would just play along. Like the line where she says, you have to go to the ring twice. I would be like, there was a ring? Then she would be like, yeah, right there, moron. And I'd be like, I have to go through the ring? And she would be like, uh-huh. Keep going. And I would be like, and I have to go to the ring twice? And she would be like, oh my God, took you long enough. Yeah, I saw that in Yvonnie. Using GIFs probably seems kind of weird, but I didn't know how to show expressions. I'm only using pics I found in them. So I tried that. And the part where I mentioned missing targets, in the footage I actually hit a couple of targets. Next up is Pokimane. Poki was so hard to write for. How hard to write for? I'll give you some perspective. Everyone else's part took like a day or two to write. Poki took me a month to write. Here's the problem I was having. See, in the story, I'm causing all this conflict, like breaking stuff, messing with their voices, messing with their hair, acting like a dumbass, all that jazz. Well, Poki to me seemed like the kind of person that would resolve conflict. She probably wouldn't let me get away with half the shit I'm getting away with. And at this point in the game, there wasn't any in-game lines I could use anymore, so I had to write my own. And I honestly wanted to be careful. Like if I say something about her that she didn't like or was disrespectful, she could probably end my content creation career quick. Don't hit on her, don't mess with her hair, don't make fun of her cat, or maybe I'm just overthinking this, I don't know. But eventually, I saw this clip.
Poki.
Huh?
Come here.
Oh.
Okay, I can be that guy. If she has a sense of humor about getting hit on, I could probably make this work. For inspiration, I used to work with a bunch of cocktail waitresses and they get hit on all the time, right? And they had some of the best/worst rejection lines. I thought of Among Us and came up with this scene. Say, Poki, can I take you out? Actually, I'll take you out. Really? There, wasn't that fun? Yeah, that was great. Thanks, Poki. That scene was basically like a template what I can work around. I thought that was really funny, so I ran with it. The crosshair idea came from the fact that her favorite game at the time was Valorant. I understood that she was really good at the game. So I came up with this idea of whenever I did something she didn't like, there's the crosshair. I thought she would be playful with that. Like with Mimi, she got mad at me for messing with Mimi. There's the crosshair again. Still find it hilarious. And in the end, she helps me pass the test. I'm Michael Reeves. What's up, Mike? Ever since I saw that surgery robot video, I was like, I so want to work with this guy. And seeing all or electrocute stuff with tasers and stuff, inspired by that, I made him wire my controller to electrocute me. Like he just shocked me whenever he wanted, right? My favorite part is when I get another controller and it's basically a Justin Roiland moment. I'm like, you can't shock me now. And of course he does. A titanium joke I used on Toast, he uses it on me here. I always felt that he would always outsmart me. This was a real fun scene. It's short, but this was a real fun scene to do. Now it's time for your final test. Wait, what? What final test? So for the final challenge, the original idea I had was I was just going to go rescue Broden. It was just going to be me like flying a helicopter and crashing all around him. And he was just going to look up like, what's he doing? But as I was writing the script, I got to a point when right after the first turret took on the helicopter, I was like, wait, what if a villain popped in right here? The timing is perfect. And immediately I thought of one person, Rae. She has like a villain persona, right? I mean, she does that sometimes. And for inspiration, I just thought of this 80s movie I used to watch called Masters of the Universe, which is not a good movie, except for one thing. Skeletor, played by Frank Langella. Maybe I'm weird, but could you imagine Rae acting like this?
Fight them! Trace them! I want them in that key hunted down and brought to me! You cannot hide from me! I dare anything! I am Skeletor!
That would be so awesome! And I know it's totally over the top and unnecessary, but why not? I found this pic of Rae from the Build a Bitch video. It was the only pic I could find of her where she looks intimidating. I wrote her name in the first line and I was like, yeah, there she is. I don't care if this is that good or that bad. I'm going there. I used a couple of Valorant lines. Of course, I had lines that she would say. I used GIFs to show her expressions. And early on, I'm all scared. I'm all chicken shit and don't want to do it. And here comes Poki. When I'm down and about to give up, Toast comes in and basically says, you forgot to use this button, idiot. I used the OTV breakout song for the comeback. This was a ton of fun, man. So the date I wanted to have the video finished and uploaded was January 15th, 2022, which was the last day of Rae's YouTube contract. The recording in this video was done separately in that I wasn't actually playing the game in real time. The gameplay was recorded first, and I wrote the script and recorded myself, responding to the gameplay footage and saying my lines. The editing was done in 3 stages. The first stage was basically making it look like a Let's Play video. The second stage was changing angles, adding sound effects, adding music, all those things. And the last phase was adding the intro and outro. And I'll be honest, the video was more ambitious than I was prepared for. Like originally I was going to do everyone's voices South Park style, and that I was going to perform their dialect and use pitch bending software to match their voice. But then I quickly realized that I'm not that talented of a voice actor and ended up scrapping it. Hell, at one point Rae sounded like Invader Zim. Just no. I was going to try and cover the OTV breakout song from their music video, spent 2 days on the damn solo, and it never came out right, so I scrapped that. Plus there were things that happened in their social lives that had to be changed in the script. Like originally I was just going to rescue Broden, but then Jody, John, and Sid joined OTV, so now I'm saving all 4 of them. And so many things I wanted got cut out. Also, the OTV house was going to be in the script, but they moved out of the house, and some scenes just sucked. I felt like I was in way over my head. I had to make the electric shock sound effect from public domain sounds I found online. I also had to make the helicopter and missile sound effects for the comeback scene. Plus my stepmother was dying from cancer in the hospital at the time. Finally, I rendered it, uploaded it went live, and got that many views. After that video went live, I had no idea what I just did. All I knew was I didn't want to do another video like this. I just moved on and forgot about it. December 2022. So at the end of the year, I was going to make an end of 2022 video just like everyone else. And I was going to talk about all the things that I did do that year on YouTube and streaming. And as I was writing, I was like, I guess I'll start writing about the Pilotwings video. Not looking forward to it. And looking back at that video and all the skills I had learned, all the ideas I had, I'll make a video about making that video. Plus the end of the year video script that I was writing ended up being over an hour long. And since that video went live, I've actually been making content that is actually the content that I want to make. With my brother, I've been doing Sea of Thieves, Totally Reliable Delivery Service, Warzone DMZ, and the whole vibe is me being an idiot and making my brother mad.
I want to pull the anchor up.
What anchor?
The anchor!
We have an anchor?
Motherfucking anchor!
Yeah, it looks so romantic.
Get out!
Oh, there's a couple of guys. Just like the Pilotwings vid. Also, I started collaborating with other streamers in a community that I found and joined. And we play Overwatch 2, Back 4 Blood, Gardic Phone, stuff like that. We got 4 tanks.
What?
That's crazy. You're lying.
No, look.
That's wild.
I got some birds. Want me to shoot them?
I mean, you know what?
Screw it.
Bag of doors.
Dorstinos. You're not gonna sue. And this is pretty much where I'm happy and comfortable. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if I got invited to play with OTV and Rae? Well, keep in mind, one reason why I made the Pilotwings video was I gave up ever playing with them. But if it did happen, I'm kind of split on it. On one hand, if they did ask me to join them, I'd be like, hell yeah, what are we playing? Valo, Among Us, Minecraft, Gardic Phone, Golf with Friends, Overwatch 2, I'm in. But on the other hand, I'm 41. This is one of my biggest insecurities, my age. Literally when I play Valo and someone on asks, how old are you? I'm like, too old? So we'll see what happens. And since I started doing content creation, I really do enjoy it. I like writing, editing, building computers, working on my setup, working with other people, playing competitively, etc. Hopefully I make good money doing this one day. Or make any money doing this one day. I don't make anything right now. Well, if you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to comment down below and let me know how you feel about this video. I'm sure a lot of you have worked on videos at some point and really got into it, and maybe you learned something, maybe you have something better, maybe you have great ideas. you know, what did you get from it? You know, when you made your own content. As always, I'm Killer Tomato, saying, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Y'all take care. Adios!